I'm really excited to have you be a part of Team Still I Run. You're a huge mental health advocate. You're also the chief meteorologist of GMA. Yeah. You're a mom, a wife, a best-selling author, and then, like I said, Team Still I Run, New York City half marathon. Knowing you're a mental health advocate, how do you juggle all of that, keeping your mental health at the forefront of it all?
Well, that's what I do, is prioritize. I always say it's not juggle or balance, but it's prioritizing and focusing, right? Like on what's in front of you, because everybody has multiple labels as we grow up. You know, we have them even when we're born, we just don't realize it. But I think they have great power, but they also can get kind of pigeonholey. And so I like to just think that I do what I need to do and prioritize those things. Obviously, I try to prioritize family and, you know, myself and my mental health first. But after that, it's just attacking whatever's right in front of you. Thankfully, running and doing it for a great cause is an easy thing that slips right into my prioritization, because I didn't realize for the longest time that running has been a huge part of my mental health routine. I just didn't put those two things together, but it's a critical part. So I'd say I don't balance or juggle, I prioritize.
I like that. That's a good way of thinking about it. Like you said, you're very passionate about mental health and your advocacy for it. Where does that stem from?
So I've had the longest journey. I wrote a couple of books. That's how much work it takes to get through my mental health journey. But I had really about a decade of terrible dealings with my mental health. And by dealings, I mean I wasn't dealing with it. And I didn't know what I was doing. And I didn't take it seriously enough. I didn't prioritize it. I just thought it was something that came up once in a while, and then I would pretend it didn't happen. I was very good at running away from my issues rather than running through them. And so what I finally did was, when I got here to New York City, I had gotten this job, and thankfully through the whole process of suicide attempts and really difficult decade of abusive relationship and all of this stuff, I finally got this job, and I realized I can't stay this way. I could lose it all. Everything I've tried for, I could lose because I'm not attending to my mental health. So I had 2 weeks between my jobs, and I was like, my mom's told me my whole life I need to go to inpatient therapy, and I need to figure this out for once and for all. And that's what I did. I was afraid again. I was afraid of myself, of taking my own life. I was afraid of my abusive boyfriend at the time. I thought he could hurt me, and it was that fear and that hope that I had for coming here kind of superseded everything. And I finally went and checked myself in to inpatient help, and here I am, healthier than I've ever been because of it. And what I've learned along the way is it wasn't just about that first part where you get a good diagnosis and you actually get the time spent on figuring out what you need, but it was that the maintenance of that.
Yes.
Because it's not like mental health, you just like the gym. You don't just start going to the gym, get in great shape, eat right for 6 months, you're like, I look good, and then you stop. Like, you have to maintain that with mental health too, and running is a big part for me.
Yeah, and so I checked myself into a mental health hospital too in 2011, and I found running afterwards, which I know you found running afterwards. And running is a part of my mental health toolkit. It's medication, therapy, and running. You had mentioned somewhere that you found running after your inpatient stay. Can you talk about that journey just a little bit? Like, well, you had run before, but you made the connection finally.
Correct. Yeah, I had run my whole life, you know, really since my stepmother was a runner, and so I would go with her and start jogging when I was even, I think, 4th or 5th grade. I started jogging and realizing it. It was kind of a negative back then because I very much went from anorexia to my eating disorder kind of got obscured with too much exercise, and running was all mixed mashed in there, and I think I didn't understand the benefits of it until much later. Then when I realized, doing it right and doing it for the right reasons, it's meditative. There's parts of it that have a connection to yourself again, and that you can take a beat and pause and reset emotional regulation. You know, obviously we know the hormonal changes that happen in running, and the beauty that can come from the community. And that's what is so important about Still I Run, is creating a community for any part of mental health, but especially surrounding something that physically meets mental. And then you have a community. Yeah. Now you're talking. Now we're going to actually see some real change. And so that's what I loved post inpatient therapy, realizing what my running was doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do you feel about your race?
I'm not going to be as fast as I wanted. I had all of these dreams and goals, which is fine. I've gotten much better with being gracious about whatever it is, and I'm going to run it, so that's great.
Yep.
I will cross that finish line, just maybe not quite as quickly as I thought I would.
Well, thank you so much. We really enjoy having you be a part of the Still I Run community. I think it really helps to elevate mental health awareness in general. Like, mental health and mental illness doesn't discriminate. It can literally happen to anyone. So just the fact that you're here with us is amazing to just uplift mental health in general.
And I am grateful to be a part of it, because so often I'm speaking around the country, I'm speaking about mental health, and people will say, but I can't afford therapy, or I can't find it, or what I love there are simple things. Running is one of them, or movement, because a lot of people are like, well, I also can't run. Yeah. So walking, doing that's a free way to start by saying, I'm going to prioritize this moment for my mind and for my body. You're creating a community around something that's accessible to everyone. And I've been lucky. I have the privilege of having the financial ability to maintain with therapy. I have the ability and access to care in the biggest city in our country. I have things that other people don't have, a team that supports me. Not everybody has that. So something like Still I Run creates that community, creates the free access, or the reminder that there's free access to this. And what I would do, if I could add to Still I Run, it's write. Writing is another tool that everybody has access to, a pencil and paper. And I think that is missed, because I think it's kind of umbrellaed under this, like, you have to journal and you have to, no, just writing, even in the notes on your phone or whatever it is that allows emotion and feeling to be validated by yourself, and then to be talked about when you're out for a jog with the Still I Run community. Like, that to me is the access to free care, really. And it's not about like getting rid of a stigma, but rather elevating the important part that people don't pay attention to. And those are the very basics of our lives, about nutrition, sleep, movement, the boring stuff.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah, so thank you for letting me be a part.
Thank you. I appreciate you.